Hey Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading for the 13th to 20th of October. I am Charlene Lizette. Whether you are new or whether you are returning, a massive thank you to you. Either way, I hope you click subscribe and become a part of our collective. All right, listen up Pisces. On the 21st, we have that new moon in Libra. Personally, me, myself, and I love this new moon. It's not the easiest new moon, but we've got Venus also in Libra, and I feel like it can open up the doors, potentially through a little bit of like friction and challenges. The doors, though, can open with respect to new financial opportunities, new connections here that are serving you for your highest good, not necessarily romantic, but more like networking, and also financial opportunities as well, especially if you're a Pisces rising, because that means Libra would be sitting up in your 8th house, paying off some debts, inheritances, monies that are owed to you. You know, there's some sort of financial blessing, Ace of Pentacles, that's coming through closer to that 21st, so the 20th, 21st, okay, of the week. I like this, you know. I'm not going to get emotional because I'm recording this right before I go live here on YouTube. But if you have been emotional this past weekend, my love, you are not alone. So a couple of weeks ago, we had that eclipse happening in your 7th house if you're a Pisces rising. And it was affecting Pisces Virgo axes, okay? First 7th house axes if you're a Pisces rising or a Virgo rising. If you're not, you would have to look at your chart to see what axes was impacted, okay? Then we had the Venus conjunct the South Node that happened, was it last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. And that was really the door closing on a connection, okay? So if you wrapped up any relationships back then around eclipse and even like last week and stuff like that, I don't think those relationship doors are opening up again, to be honest. You know, I don't know your personal chart. I don't know if it was directly aspecting your chart. Like if it was, then those doors are probably not going to be opened again. But it's the karmic ties that are being released. And then this weekend, the weekend that I'm recording this to set this up for the 13th launch, we have Venus in opposition to Saturn. Venus in Virgo and Saturn in your sign, in our sign. I'm a Pisces moon and rising. If you didn't know, now you know. So talk about heaviness, dude. And as emotional as we are, Pisces, as much as we feel, I think there's only so much that we can really take. But I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say this with a lot of love, and this is kind of like a little pep talk that I gave myself as well, because I sat in front of the mirror a couple of days ago and just cried my brains out and was like, you just got to be real with yourself, you know, about what the heck is going on and you know, how you're going to navigate this next chapter here in life. Venus is about our values. It's about love. It's about our self-worth. It's about peace and harmony. In Virgo, it's debilitated. It doesn't like being there. Like it's not a comfortable feeling at all. And then we have Saturn in Pisces. Saturn doesn't like being in Pisces. Saturn likes structure, discipline, sacrifice, hard work. It wants you to put in that elbow grease without any immediate satisfaction or gratification. And it wants you to be so hyper-focused and disciplined and realize that sacrifice is required. And Pisces is like, well, can we just be a little bit delulu together and, you know, pretend everything's going to be okay without necessarily having to do anything? And so these energies are just, the planets in these signs are already like not comfortable. And then we've got them talking to each other. Oh my God, Lord Jesus. You know, what I'll say to you, okay, what I will say to you, Venus opposing Saturn, and this energy is probably going to be felt for the next little bit too. They're saying this. One, what relationships truly need to let go, you need to let go of, okay? Or the memories, the pains, the suffering, like the story, right? Well, I was betrayed in the past, so I'm going to be betrayed again. I was abused in the past, so I'm going to be abused again. You know, the last person cheated on me, so every woman or man is a cheater, right? Like those kinds of stories. That's one. Two, where do you need to learn how to balance your work life with your romantic life? Where are you giving too much or taking too much? And where does reciprocity and receptivity need to, and balance need to be restored in your life? 4, where are you not willing to pay attention to your toxic, self-limiting, self-sabotaging behaviors and how they are affecting your relationships and your success right now? These are, none of these conversations are easy. None of this stuff is fluffy. None of this stuff is honestly like Pisces realm. It's all grounded, deep shadow work. And for Pisces, it can feel extremely overwhelming. Don't do what I did. Don't lean into food. Don't lean into codependent actions like, addiction. I don't want to say that food's an addiction, but it can be, right? Like, I know when I stress, I eat. Right? So don't do that, right? Because then you're going to feel like crap. Find healthy outlets to help you. Find healthy outlets to support you, to guide you through this, because you're really being asked to see all the stuff that you're doing and the things that are happening around you. Like, where are you forgoing your values just to be accepted or loved or appreciated, right? Like, and where is your ego? Where is your shadow stopping you from manifesting your dream life? Like, there's so much depth here, and your reading just screams more depth too, So that's why I'm talking about this without even talking about the cards, because I think that this is going to be one of those weeks where you're sitting back and you're going, holy bejeebies boobies, what the heliante is going on today? We start off with the first card and it says surrender. I can release my need to control. Let it go. Like Elsa. Let it go. Breathe it out, cry it out, scream it out, do whatever you need to do. Find a creative outlet. Let it go. Surrender. Let it go. Check this. Who are you? Right? The 12th house, Pisces, Neptune. It says, I surrender. Again, double I surrender. Just surrender. Just surrender to the alchemy of life. Ask yourself, could all of these things that are happening right now, even though it feels like everything is falling apart, could it be helping me bring something else together? Where am I holding on too tightly? Where am I trying to control outcomes? Where am I, trying to puppeteer these situations instead of honoring the journey? It says here, this is the house of intuition and unconscious. Here's where we see transcendent experiences, hospitals, prisons, secret agendas, hidden enemies, as well as unknown possibilities and one's weaknesses. This house is also associated with long-term confinement, seclusion, and psychic abilities. If you have 12th house stellium or a lot of placements in your 12th house, you could like to be alone, okay? If you have synastry, if you guys know what that is, a 12th house synastry with anybody, it's a deep psychic connection, and it is crazy, bro. Then we have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. This whole reading is literally about you going, you know what, Jesus, take the darn wheel. I'm going to show up in my highest light. I'm going to show up in my personal power. I'm going to show up loving myself, respecting myself, honoring those around me, the people that have held compassion and kindness and forgiveness and grace, the ones that truly want what's best for me. I think about my friends who have been here, been there for me for the last little bit, and I'm so grateful for them because they tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear, and that's what friends are for. If you have friends who are keeping you complacent, who are trying to limit you, who are trying to block your growth, who are, trying to squash your dreams, I'm going to tell you right now, those ain't your friends, babe. They're not your friends. They're your hidden enemies. Says it right here on the card. Knight of Swords, Page of Wands. The Knight of Swords is fast movement, communication, your mind racing, and the Page of Wands is passion, creativity, curiosity, vitality. Fire and air can feel such a whirlwind internally. This could be lots of fast communication with people. This could be you out working and just having to be on the ball. This could be you receiving messages or you being the deliverer of messages here. And the Empress is something to do here with femininity, with abundance, with grace, with Venetian energy. Venus moves into Libra on the 13th, okay? This could have to do with your success, your abundance, and your self-worth in relation to these conversations, right? Like, I'll never forget I don't even remember how many years ago now it was, but whatever. Anyways, I had a crush on somebody and they had a crush on me and they tried so hard to get my attention, but I was just not in a place where I could see I was like, no, they're too good for me. They weren't, honestly, but in my head, I was like, I'm not where I want to be. I have all this stuff going on in my life, and I'm rebuilding my career. There's no way. And this person tried and tried and tried, and I think I've shared this with you guys before. And then one time there was a situation where they were literally just eclipsed out of my life. And I think about that to this day, right? Not the coulda, shoulda, woulda, because obviously everything happened for a reason, but how we miss out on our own opportunities because of our own undoing. and how certain people come into our lives to teach us certain things, you know? Six of Swords, the Hermit. This is all of this stuff that's happening for you, Pisces, is to teach you. It's all to help you, introspection, self-reflection, maturity, growth. Because, you know, that person, once they were eclipsed out of my life, I realized, shoot, God gave me 2 freaking years. 2 years to be receptive. And Lord knows that poor guy tried. And I was just like, nah. And so what opportunities are you potentially allowing yourself to miss out on that you're going to regret? And also, where do you need to move on from the story of victimization and move into a place of collaboration? What I talked to you guys in the beginning, that Venus-Saturn energy. Where are you self-sabotaging? Where you need to lean into connection, partnership, friendship, relationship, business collaboration, etc. You know, I'm an introvert. People are always like, they think I'm the biggest extrovert. I am not. It takes a lot for me to like open up to people. Like, I don't know how to do small talk. What is that? Nice shoes. That's like so awkward like that. You know, unless you're my friend, then like I'm a goofball through and through, but like to new people, I don't know. But part of growing, part of evolving is putting yourself in these situations that can feel very uncomfortable. So I've recently joined a membership club. I'm like putting myself out there. I'm awkward AF, but at least I'm doing it. And that's what Source here is telling you to do too. Get into this place of collaboration, of working, of networking, of connecting with people, because that is where the opportunities exist. That is where the doors can open for you. And these doors are very well like focused on your finances, on your money, on your stability. Like you might be closing doors of financial abundance and financial opportunity because you're too stuck in your ego, in your righteousness. Let's dive into love, okay? I know. Strength, 8 of Swords. You guys are 7 of Swords. You guys are really pissing me off. And I'm pissing myself off too, trust me, okay? Strength card, 8 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. Strength is all about courage, vitality, balance, masculine, feminine energy. It's Leo energy, okay? It's being courageous. It's daring to take a leap. It's learning how to balance that masculine, feminine energy. And the 8 of Swords and the 7 of Swords is somebody who's too much up in their head to even be down here in reality. There's that Hermit card again, okay? Page of Wands and the 8 of Swords. So maybe somebody wants to make a move towards you, but they feel really, really stuck. Or maybe you want to make a move towards somebody, but you're like, I don't know how to approach them. I mess things up. How do I talk to them? Or they're feeling that same way too, right? The 8 of Swords is overanalysis paralysis. It's like your mental entrapment, but really you're not. You're just overthinking, overanalyzing instead of doing. Honestly, biggest trap that there is. Biggest trap. And I say that as somebody who has Jupiter in their 12th house. If you know, you know. And I say that as somebody who used to experience that overanalysis paralysis to a degree that was just unfathomable. And now I'm just like, you know, I'm just going to act. It's either going to work or it's not. It's a 50-50. Let's go. Roll the dice. Bet on it. Instead of thinking over and over and over again, okay? 7 of Swords here. To the lovers. The lovers wanted to come out before and it was stuck with something else, so I didn't take it. It's a choice. But it's like either you or this person is keeping things so close to the chest, like, oh, this is like such ego stuff and it ticks me off. This is like, they can't know all the truth about me because then they're going to judge me. The right person is never going to judge you. I'm going to tell you that. Okay. The wrong person will judge you. The wrong person will try and control you, change you, suffocate you. The right person is just going to be like, all right, cool. So you have these ugly parts of you. You have these shadow parts of you. This is my ugly. These are my shadows. What are we going to do with it? And how are we going to come together? The lovers. That's up to you though, right? You or them. There's a choice here to be made on love. What are you going to do when they come for you? I don't know, bro. That's up to you. Okay, if you want to book a session, you want to work with me in any capacity, it's down in the description box below. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, subscribes. Here's this video to help you with manifesting your dream life. We'll see you later, alligators. Peace out. Bye.